Alright, Neverwinter Nights. We're finally starting this game. I think before we go on to create Lilly's character, I just want to check a few options. Alright, difficulty, D&D hardcore rules, I think that's fine. Although it does make me a little nervous, I think, because I've never actually gone through this game in earnest, at least, with a spellcaster. Usually gone through probably as a fighter with things like power attack and cleave, so I have a lot to learn, I think. Hopefully we'll make it to the end. We'll have to see. Alright. Otherwise, I don't think there's really much to configure here with the sound. I apologize in advance. I'll probably be fidgeting with not only the levels here, but also in the final mix. I'm just awfully picky about those things, and I'll probably be continuing to do that all the way to the very end. Alright. And that's actually another thing. I've been playing in the Infinity engine for almost, 14 months? For the Baldur's Gate saga. So, obviously, I'm not quite used to the Aurora engine. It's going to take me a little while to get used to it, but I remember the worst part of it being the camera. I'm not sure what they did. I think they tried to appease too many people, and they ended up frustrating everybody. Just too many features, I think, with it. So, yeah, I'll probably leave it at top-down, but I'm always struggling to get the camera to do what I'd like it to do. Also, we're going from 2nd edition to 3rd edition. And I forgot about all the new features like attacks of opportunity. I think that's going to be a problem for Lilly, especially as a spellcaster. Plus other minor things like armor class. I think 0 is now the new 10 and 20 is the new -10. But I guess we'll figure it out. Alright, creating Lilly's character. Of course, she's female and an elf. And I think this is interesting. Now 3rd edition, well, two things here. She has the additional proficiencies with the longsword, rapier, shortbow, and longbow. I think she'll actually take advantage of the bow training, at least to direct the attention of her familiar or summons at particular enemies. And this is also nice. The keen senses. She'll make spot and listen checks automatically. Don't have to do it explicitly. So just one less thing to worry about. Not that she's very good at it, but yeah, just one less thing to worry about. Alright. Lilly's portrait. Of course, she's no longer a mage, but now a wizard. Essentially the same thing. And I always claim she's lawful evil. And of course, the game will keep track of this. And I don't expect the engine to understand her motivations for choosing one thing versus another. So I'm not really going to pay much attention to this, but I think it'll be interesting to follow nonetheless. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes completely in the opposite direction, at least towards neutral and, of course, more chaotic. Probably towards true neutral, if I had to guess. We'll see. Alright, her abilities. What happened? Exiled from Duramore. It's a shame, really, what happened. A lot of her abilities and powers diminished. Greatly. I think, yeah, her divine soul all but ripped from her body. She used to have, I think it was strength 11, now it's 8, but at least it's more reasonable at 8. I think 8 is more along the lines of something you might find in a weak goblin. Sounds more like Lilly's strength. Dexterity used to be 16, now it's going to be 12. But actually that's more or less average for an elf, at least. So it makes more sense. And she used to have Constitution 13, now it's been reduced to 10. Which is actually still above average, but I think that makes sense for her as I look at her as a more hardy woman than most. Just with all the hardships she's gone through. And her wisdom used to be 11, Yeah, now it's only 9. I guess that's always been one of her flaws. I guess. And this is the worst. She used to have a super genius intelligence at 20. Now it's been reduced to mere mortal levels of 17, even though it's still pretty good, but not compared to what it used to be. We'll have to see. And this changed the least. She used to have charisma 17. That's been reduced to 16. So I guess she's still just as charming, even though she's a fallen goddess. Alright. Of course, she's a generalist. And skill points. Some will probably be obvious. Maximizing class skills for concentration. Of course, these are important for a wizard. Lore. And here we go, spellcraft. Non-class skills, persuade. Of course, she has this skill. So spending 2 points in that. I think actually what's interesting is a related skill. Here it is, bluff. Was introduced, but only with the Hordes of the Underdark expansion. And I don't think it's actually used in the official campaign. Otherwise, I'd probably entertain maybe putting some points in here, because she does have some of these skills, but if it's not going to be utilized, I don't want to waste points that way. So just leave it all in Persuade for now. And similarly here for Appraise, this was actually introduced in the Shadows of Undertide expansion, but then what they did is they retroactively included it via a patch into the official campaign, whether you have the expansions or not. So it is used. So we're going to put points in here for Appraise, because of course that's part of her skill set as well. Alright. Feats. Of course, she's no stranger to combat now. So it would make sense to choose combat casting, but she has the opportunity to take Courteous Magocracy. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I think we're going to do it because, to me, I think she would have exceptional skill levels for lore and spellcraft. And this is our only opportunity to take it. We can always take combat casting once she warms up after spending 2 years in Waterdeep at Zablop shop, drinking sparkling green. So I think we'll take this first. Alright. Our generalist. Spells. Of course, she starts out with all cantrips, which is nice. And for first level spells, I gave this some thought. I think Charm Person, particularly for merchants, I think. Get a better price when trading. And, well, Identify is certainly useful. Taking that. Magic Missile. Can't go wrong with that spell. There's no saving throw, and it deals magical damage. Magic Weapon. I think she's going to take this with the idea that she could cast it on her familiar Bones. If, for some reason, he has to bypass the damage resistance of something and needs a +1 enhancement. I don't know how good of an idea it really is, but this should work on him as a creature, although I think there is a spell called Magic Fang, which is essentially the same thing but meant to be cast on a natural weapon. But I think in the game, here in the video game, they allow you to use Magic Weapon on a creature. So I think we'll try it. And what else? I think, yeah, Sleep would be awfully useful, as it affects multiple creatures, because she has to deal with a crowd of enemies. And of course, yeah, summons are a girl's best friend. Just take summon creature 1. Alright, and that's it for now. Alright, then her familiar. Bones. The Black Panther. From the Sword Mountains. Okay. I don't think we get to configure anything. Yeah, more or less a roguelike, which is awfully handy. I think they actually split the abilities. The other skills that a rogue would normally have is actually, I think, in the Pixie familiar. Yeah. Like things like disarming traps and whatnot. The Panther's more about the more stealthy qualities. Alright. So that's Bones. Alright, customizing her look. I finally know how to rotate the character now. Should be one with hair partly up. Wish there was one in a bun, but this will have to do. Okay. Of course, she has no tattoos. The body's fine. A black gown. Pale elven skin. Black hair. Yeah, she doesn't have tattoos, but I don't know. I guess if she did, probably be these colors. All right. Whoa. I think that's right.
At my command, attack!
Oh boy. All right. So of course her name, Lilly Black. And yeah, this default bio. Yeah, I'm not sure why they do that, but you know what I should probably put in here is all the aliases that she does have. Her true name, Lilac. Veldrin of Chednasad. From Usnatha. Terror of the Sword Coast, I think she got that from Yagashura. The Black Bitch of Boulder's Gate. It's her own fearsome title. Lady of Murder. We recently heard about, probably one she wants to forget, Madame Manure, and under the guise of Al-Shares. Alright, that's probably enough of that. And her age, this is always an issue. Her alleged age is 163, which is actually pretty young. I think that's early to mid-20s, if you're to translate that into human years. But she's actually quite a bit older. But we won't divulge that true age here now, at least. And her voice.
All right, crew. Let's take them down.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That seemed most fitting. Okay. Alright, I think that's it. So it's probably a little bit of a introductory movie, and then probably actually begin the real gameplay. Alright, let's begin.